Foods, more than just a grocery store. Williams Foods has been serving communities since 1971. That is 45 years strong and counting. We are successful because we offer great service, great prices, fresh produce, and the best meat money can buy. Williams Foods is not just in your communities, we are a part of your community. We donate 1% back to any nonprofit organization, and we donate up to 6 cents per labels to anyone fundraising. Williams Foods, where we still sack and carry out your groceries for you because you deserve it.
There's a few things we live by in Oklahoma: honesty, integrity, and hard work. At Triton Foundation Repair, if you don't need foundation repair work, we will be the company that tells you, because when you do need it, we want to be the company that doesn't. Honesty, integrity, and hard work. Triton Foundation Repair.
Al's Heat and Air is a proud supporter of the Tuttle Tigers. Serving the Tuttle area for almost 40 years, we work on all makes and models. As a trained comfort specialist, we sell the best and service the rest. Al's Heat and Air, 405-381-3602.
Looking for the perfect way to satisfy your barbecue cravings? Look no further. We welcome everyone to enjoy our mouth-watering barbecue made with love and care. With a kids menu and outdoor patio, we have something for all ages. Come for the barbecue, stay for the good times with family and friends.
At Ortho Central, we're committed to making your life better. Whether it's getting you back to the sport you love, chasing after grandkids, or easing chronic pain. With locations in Norman, Midwest City, and Newcastle. Ortho Central, we're part of your team.
Over the years, a lot has changed. Thankfully, in Tuttle, a few things have stayed the same. The people here are still the best, the school's teams are always competitive, and Williams Plumbing Service is still serving the community. For all your plumbing needs, call Williams Plumbing Service. One family serving Tuttle since 1949. Thank you, Tuttle, and go Tigers.
Where you call home is important, and when things break, who you call to fix that home is also important. When it comes to heat and air needs, local matters. Bo Kokenauer of Koch's Mechanical knows that, and that's why Koch's Mechanical takes pride in serving the community he calls home.
Need your AC service? Let our dad serve you.
At Tactical Pest Solutions, we prevent pests from taking over. Our defense will give you peace of mind, keeping your home or business safe from pesky bugs or creepy crawlers. Our tactical approach proactively treats your spaces before high-traffic pest season. Make an appointment today, even if you haven't seen indications of bugs or pests, so we can play defense for your home team. Give us a call and let's keep your home or business free of what's bugging you. Tactical Pest Solutions. We can beat the bugs to the punch.
Whether you just came from a workout or you're just out and about, our Social Sips have everything you need to feel good to feel good. Here at Social, we have a variety of teas, shakes, social bowls, or you can even try one of our cold brew coffees, made with you in mind. At Mustang Social and Hometown Social, it's always tea time.
At Marshall Auto Supply, our Napa certified parts professionals are here to help. We stock a wide variety of parts and accessories for all makes and models. Marshall Auto Supply. Stop by or call us today. Located in Chickasha or on Main Street in Tuttle.
All right, welcome to the playoff preview show. I'm Coach Brett Draper, and joining me tonight, Coach Ballard down at the end, CJ Simon, number 5, number 11, Brady McAdoo, and 53, right, Cam McDoulet. And these guys joining us tonight, talk a little bit of Tiger football, some other things, and get ready for week 2 of the second season of the year, Coach B.
It's good to be here, man. Good to be here. Good to be playing. Proud of these guys. Happy for all of them. It's, I've said it before. Friday nights in Tuttle, America are something I wish every kid got to experience. just proud of them. Keep fighting, get to play one more game. So these guys done a good job. Excited to see them play Friday night. We've had a couple good days of practice. We're ready to go.
Well, we got an opponent coming in and making a little bit of a trip. We've made a trip out towards their neck of the woods, out in the Muskogee area, Hilldale, coming in tonight. Just a little bit about these guys here on the year. Cam McDoulet, defensively, almost 50 tackles, 10 solos, 7 tackles for loss, and 4 sacks. He's also got a forced fumble. Brady on the defensive side of the ball, 39 tackles, 18 solo tackles, 21 assists there, a sack, a four tackle for loss, and then 2 interceptions on the year. CJ has been primarily an offensive guy. He's stepped in place some defensive back as well, but CJ's offensive numbers, 49 catches. That's a big year. And you wouldn't believe this, but that's where I finished my senior year with 49 grabs. So I just didn't score as many touchdowns as you did. But 49 catches, 841 yards, and 10 touchdowns through the air. Brady McAdoo with 33 catches, 638 yards, 14 catches from Cruz Campbell. And then rushing the football, Brady's got 12 carries for 94 yards, averaging 7.83 a carry. And he has 3 on the ground as well, 4 punt return touchdowns. Should have been 6, I think, but we've had a couple unfortunate calls. But some big-time numbers from these guys through the year. Usually when you have big-time numbers, you get big-time results, and that's what the Tigers have done this year. Look at last week, Coach B, kind of talk about a little different start, a little different game plan. They kept the ball away from us for the first part of that game, and I thought they had a really good game plan coming in. Hats off to their staff, and but you guys found a way to kind of get things going.
100%. They had to change the quarterback, had a change in a couple of formations, and a little bit of quarterback run, a little bit of option. Some things they had not shown on film. So, hey, hats off to Coach Maynard. I respect the heck out of him. He did what he had to do. Tried to ball control, keep the ball away from us. Kids did a great job. I thought after the first series, we really kind of settled in, found our groove on defense. Offensively, I thought when we had opportunities, we took them. Had one turnover on a run play where I thought we had a nice job going, but I thought it was important. After their first drive, they go right down the field and keep it from us, and we get a stop down there, and then we turn around, get the ball, and go on what probably is one of my favorite drives of the year. Honestly, thought we had a little bit of everything. A lot of players shined in the drive, spread it around, took what we had to take, and a couple of big plays. Those long sustained drives are important to us as well. I know everyone thinks we're a big play team, but when those opportunities have presented themselves for us to run the football and control it, we've done so. So, defense getting stops, their game plan to keep the ball away from us, and we come out and win 34-6 and advance to the Elite Eight, second round, quarterfinals, whatever you want to call it. Hey, we got to practice football today. It's a good day. So,
yeah, anytime you're practicing this time of year, it's fun. Cam, you guys started the game off like we mentioned. They just tried to. It seemed like they were just trying to really keep it out of the offense's hands and keep Cruz and his offensive guys on the sideline. Talk about how you were having to adapt on the fly to a new quarterback and some other formations that you hadn't seen. How do you do that while the game's going on?
I mean, it's kind of listen to my linebackers. They're good at calling out stuff. And it's kind of looking at their formations. Like, it was a lot of double teams, most double teams I've ever had to put up with this year so far. So it was pretty hard kind of adapting to it. But like after their first, second drive, it was pretty good. Coach Lemon was getting the calls right. And finished it.
Yeah, and we talked to Coach Limar after the game. He was frustrated with himself, but it's not always easy when they throw a tight end into the mix and throw everything off balance.
That quarterback run, option, all
Yeah.
the things we hadn't seen before. And then I thought he and Coach Finn made some great adjustments on the sideline, just some different alignments with our defensive ends that really helped us and helped people flow the ball a little bit better. So those guys did a great job. They didn't panic, which is what you worry about. You know what I mean? You can't freak out, and you have to understand the game's never going to be perfect. It's going to go up and down and ebb and flow. And it's usually the guys that can hang in and play the hardest, the longest are good.
Well, and it probably gives you guys an idea that you guys on the defensive side of the ball, Brady, you too as well. I mean, if I'm coaching against the Tuttle Tigers, I'm not probably going to do everything I've been doing on film. You guys have always been really prepared. Your coaching staff works really hard. They know that. I'm probably going to throw some more wrinkles in this week if I'm Hilldale, and you just got to kind of be ready for that, I think. And I think that's a good way to get it ready for it as a test run in the first round of the playoffs. I thought you guys handled it well. We're going to take a look at some defensive highlights from last week, and Coach B may run these down as they come across the screen
All right.
here. Kind of coach talk them.
Sounds good. Again, you can see a little bit of wishbone here and fullback base, of course. And those are just quick hitting plays, things you don't simulate very well in practice. And a little bit of a different look here with the quarterback running the ball and some option. Our guys get it strung out, and we get to use our speed, and our DBs come up, make some plays here. Here again, our defensive line, you see them taking up gaps, taking up blocks. Everything is gap sound. You see the big freshman in there, Kel Harriman in there making piles, and then the linebackers running free. Again, I think, they had a pretty good night rushing the football. There's Brady making a great play. I think we allowed 3 passing yards. So anytime you can make someone one-dimensional, whether it be by choice or not, you got to feel good about that. So there again, it's old quarterback follow play out of the bone. There's just a lot of gaps up there, a lot of numbers, a lot of hats. And if it's not something you've seen or done before, it makes it tough. But you can see as the game progresses, the way our D linemen are fitting, the way our linebackers are fitting, everything just got more solid as we went. And I think that's a mark of a good team. You have to be able to adjust. You can prepare all you want. And, on old Boxer, he didn't have a very good weekend the other night, but Mike Tyson, he used to say everybody has a plan to get punched in the mouth.
That's exactly.
So it's always going to happen. And we talk about it a lot, how football mimics life. And nobody's perfect. Not me, not them. Never. There will never be a perfect game. So you have to learn to adjust your helmet, adjust your alignment, adjust your attitude, and let's go. So proud of them. They did a wonderful job.
Brady, talk a little bit about on defense, how much it helped. You guys already kind of seeing that type of offense. You saw it against Ardmore. Tecumseh did a little bit of it. What was it like, having, because some teams you don't face one of those offenses all year. What was it like to have a little bit in your pocket as far as experience goes, and then use those situations to your advantage?
Well, it helped us quite a bit. I mean, we went out there with a game plan, and then they had to switch up their quarterback, and that kind of switched up the whole thing. But I think we kept calm and did what we had to do.
Well, you guys did a really good job. The offense did a good job as well. We're going to take a look at some offensive highlights. CJ, this is where you get to come into play.
Yeah.
So we'll run through some offensive highlights here. I think I knew what was going to happen before the play.
Coach Draper likes calling those touchdowns before it even gets close.
I know who's out there.
That was one from McAdoo. Here's a nice little screenplay we've been working on. Timing's not perfect yet, but something the guys have been working on for a couple of weeks now, and nice to see that pop. This is the touchdown play, I believe, for Brady right here. Getting some bodies on bodies down the field, people trying to block, and Brady makes a few miss, gets in the end zone again. There's a guy trying to pull CJ down behind the play, but
CJ held that block forever.
Oh yeah. There's Zarian Kendall with the catch right there on the little play action. Him. And there's Sean getting those tough yards, and the linemen and everybody in there blocking and just being solid, doing what we have to do, get close to the goal line. You got to punch it in. And Sean's been good at that. The offensive line, I think, continues to improve. And then right here, something you don't see every day. Cruz using his speed to get in, and excited for him. I think the guys razz him a lot about not being able to run, but he's not as slow as they say for sure. But
I said it's a heck of a lot easier just toss it into the end zone.
Oh yeah, man.
I'm running it. Brady, you threw one into CJ. It's a lot easier to run it all the way downfield.
Oh,
a successful night again for the offense. Talk about Coach B, just while we're on last game. We see here, and I can see in the stat column, but 14 and 22. They were our guests last week, Adrian and Luke. And Luke goes for 19 total tackles, and Adrian goes for 16 total tackles. hopefully that's a little foreshadowing for you three Friday night. Maybe we have some numbers, some video game numbers. Talk a little bit about how those guys played in the middle of your linebacking core last week.
Well, like you heard them say last week, in order for them to make tackles, that means our D linemen have their head in the right gap. And once we got that squared away after the first and second drive there, I thought our D lineman did a great job of funneling the ball where it's supposed to go, and then it's up to those guys to make the tackles. Those two have been solid as a rock all year, though. They're built for that. I mean, that's what they do. It's what they've always done. It's what they've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
They don't want any more than to go out there and help their team and just get their nose dirty and tackle. That's what those two love to do. And but it takes guys in front of them doing what they're supposed to do. I think the better that Kale gets, the more Kale grows. Having a big body in there to take two helps, and that frees Cam up quite a bit too. For us not to have to put him in at nose sometimes, which those other guys are doing an excellent job too.
Sure.
But I think Cam is one of those guys that you're not going to outwork. I mean, if you got in a fight with Cam, you probably better knock him out because that's the only way he would quit is if he was asleep, probably. So he's just a tough guy. We have some great role players up there. I think Braden Baker has gotten better every week. Nick Wright's done a good job up there. GSR Garrett Rogers has done a good job in there, and just it's by committee. You can't have the same three dudes in there all night.
Sure.
But you got to have fresh bodies rolling in there and make sure that ball gets put where it belongs, and we're leveraging everything. And if those inside linebackers are making the tackles, then everybody's leveraging the ball correctly, and it's gone well for us.
Yeah, Brady, you played off the edge last week and made some plays behind the line of scrimmage as well. I thought I think this year you've been freed up. There hasn't been as much pressure on you offensively. And talk about maybe how that's helped you excel defensively, having maybe a little bit more juice and a little bit more legs underneath you to go play defense.
Well, having these guys around me that can also make plays helps a lot. I mean, last year, well, I don't even know how many times I got the ball every game. It was a lot. I mean, it also put tear on my body, so I was getting nicks and knacks hurt all the time, and then couldn't play defense. But this year, I mean, we got playmakers all over the field that helps me a lot, so I can get back on defense.
Well, we'll take a look at we'll take a look here at the playoff bracket and kind of what's on the bracket left and the teams that got knocked off. Elk City, of course, Tuttle knocks them off. Miami dropped to Hilldale, and we get the winner obviously there. Ada and Cushing, that was a barn burner, and it was in the 50s, and there was a very controversial call at the end of the game, I believe, on a catch and a fumble that they called
You
incomplete.
could call it a lot of things.
Yeah.
Controversial would be nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Weatherford and Bethany was a big matchup, and Bethany rolls out of there with that. So, and then on the other side, Elgin took care of business against Ardmore, and Salisaw goes past Grove. Wagner, the 1 seed out of the 3 district, they'll face Clinton as Clinton knocked off the Lions, and a very weird end of the game on that one. There was about 500 timeouts and 2 or 3 penalties, and then Blanchard goes for 2. They don't get it, and Clinton moves on. So there's some surprises. I thought I thought Cushing really had a chance to win that ball game, and I think Clinton. I don't know how many people counted out the Red Tornadoes, but they didn't count themselves out. So
No.
the bracket's still thick over here in 4A, Coach B.
Hey, that bracket in 4A is pretty tough, top to bottom. I said it last week. I felt like there was probably 6 or 8 teams that I thought had a legitimate shot to go do this thing. But we knew the district over there was really good. District 4A1 out west here. We know what Elgin has, of course. We've seen Clinton and Weatherford on film, and Elk City was right there with them. I mean, I think they felt like they had a chance to beat both of those guys. So we knew that thing is really, really difficult over there. It always is. We knew ours was very good. I really, really felt like Bethany was a very good football team tonight. We played them, and we played one of our better games as well that night, I thought. So, there's a lot of good teams. I mean, I say the same thing about Wagner every year. They always look the same to me. You know what they are, who they are, and I think Clinton's that way too. So we'll see. I know Coach Tyler at South saw pretty well. He's always done a good job and been successful. We've seen Ada up and down all year. they've had some losses, but they've also had some huge wins, and they're very talented as well. So, you know, I I don't pretend to know a whole lot about all of them until the week before we play them, and then I'll pay attention to them. But I I I think our focus always has to be on us. We got to be the best version of us, and none of that matters. So we're just trying to get better every week. And man, it's exciting though. You never know. And listen, we just feel great to be playing, and thankful to be playing, and glad to get to play. I'm glad these guys get to play at home again. So that's fun.
Well, we ought to have a big crowd here Friday night here at Richardson Family Stadium. We're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be back with some offensive stuff for CJ to talk about, and be right back on the playoff preview show here on Tiger TV.
Country Equipment Rentals is the spot for all the tools to help you get those projects done. Whether it's a power washer, jackhammer, stump grinder, or tiller, or if you need something a little bigger like a tractor and brush hog, skid steer, excavator, or even a bulldozer, Country Equipment Rentals is the place to go. Where you call home is important, and when things break, who you call to fix that home is also important. When it comes to heat and air needs, local matters. Bo Kokenauer of Koch's Mechanical knows that, and that's why Koch's Mechanical takes pride in serving the community he calls home.
Need your AC serviced? Let our dad serve you.
At Jamie Joe's, our burgers are handmade with 100% pure beef. From our grill to your table, you'll love every bite.
Jamie Joe's, half-price burgers all day Monday.
At Contemporary Family Dentistry, our core values are the heart of our Big Little practice since 2008. Our friendly and professional staff are here to ensure your experience at the dentist is a positive one. Does going to the dentist cause you anxiety? No worries. We offer IV sedation for all procedures and your comfort. We are open Monday through Friday at our Newcastle location and now also in Blanchard.
At Tactical Pest Solutions, we prevent pests from taking over. Our defense will give you peace of mind, keeping your home or business safe from pesky bugs or creepy crawlers. Our tactical approach proactively treats your spaces before high-traffic pest season. Make an appointment today, even if you haven't seen indications of bugs or pests, so we can play defense for your home team. Give us a call and let's keep your home or business free of what's bugging you. Tactical Pest Solutions. We can beat the bugs to the punch.
The First National Bank and Trust Company presents to you the Tuttle Team Spirit Card. We proudly serve more than 20 area schools and have donated more than $82,000 in 2023. So, what are you waiting for? Support your Tuttle Tigers and make every transaction count. Come by the bank to get your Team Spirit Card today at no cost to you. The First National Bank and Trust Company. Member FDIC.
All right, we're back here on Tiger TV at the playoff preview show with Coach Brad Ballard, CJ Simon, Brady McAdoo, and next to me, Big Cam McDoulet. Gonna go to CJ. We haven't got to talk to him a little bit yet. So, first off, this man auctioned off. We had an auctioneer at the basketball Meet Your Tiger night. They auctioned off a bunch of stuff. They have a professional in there. And at the end of the night, they were begging someone to do it. And CJ, you got on the mic, and I think you made $650 on it.
Hey, yeah, I made like 600. I think it was 700 though. But yeah, made some money right there.
I mean, it was a professional auctioneer. He
Yeah.
caught on quick, and I think he won over the hearts of a lot of folks in the gym.
Yeah,
You're going to
for
play
sure.
basketball later after football's over with in
Yes, sir.
about 3.5, 4 weeks or so. So, Coach Job's gonna have to wait, right, before you join the basketball team. But Coach B, talk a little bit about Hilldale. They're coming into town. Coming off of a big win against Miami. They were the lower seed. They've had tough physical kids in the past. That's a tough area over in the green country, as you want to call that. I know they've got, just from the things I've heard a little bit, they have a player, I believe 7 for them. Reminds you a lot of the kid from Bethany, kind of the same
Sure.
kind of player there. Talk a little bit about the Hilldale Hornets and your opponent coming into town this week.
Just very talented. I think they have some explosive kids. Number 7, like you mentioned, is very fast. Seems to get behind people a lot. They'll move him around, get him the ball several different ways, of course. They got a couple of big tight end kids, got other good skill kids. I think as a group, their secondary runs pretty well. They've got a lineman, number 75, that plays offense and defense, and he's their kicker. And we've seen him make a 48-yarder, I believe it was, on film. Offensively, the quarterback was injured for the 3 games that they did not win, and they've been very successful with him in the game. They're hot right now. Again, like you said, going to Miami and win, it was an upset for them, but I think they don't have a lot of holes, if you ask me. I think they're very solid everywhere. They have some special players in spots. It's a team that if you don't play well, they'll beat you. And they've been very consistent lately. They play hard. They do a good job on special teams. I just think they're a really good football team. And again, that's what it should be this time of year. The final 8, there's not any bad ones left, and everybody that's here is probably hot and been playing well. So, man, it's tough to get here. It's tough to get here, and then when you get here, everybody's prime, everybody's game, and they're gonna not be any different. They're gonna be very, very good. They do a lot on offense, so it's gonna be a huge challenge for us. We're gonna play extremely well, not turn the ball over, and when you get your chance, you gotta take it. But, we're gonna be aggressive like we always are. We're gonna go do what we do, let it rip and be aggressive. That's the only way we know.
All right, I'm going to start off with Cam. You may steal some of Coach B's answers or not, but Cam, go give me your key to win the football game Friday night. What's one of your keys to winning Friday night?
Just being disciplined on defense, like watching the football. Like last week, we had a few false starts. Like me and Kale were jumping. We fixed that this week though. But yeah, Hilda looks pretty solid. Like their center, he's not too bad. He was talking to number 75. He's a pretty good ball player. He's aggressive. Plays mean. Tackles, they're honestly the worst on their own, but I mean they're still pretty solid kids. Their guards though, pretty good. But if we can just stay disciplined on defense, we should win.
Okay. Brady McAdoo, what's your keys to getting a win on Friday night?
Just keep your eyes where they need to be. Listen to Coach Lemon, and I mean the D line plays a big role in our defense, and O line plays a big role in our offense. So if they can do what they have been doing, then I think we'll be pretty good.
All right, CJ, your keys to getting the win on Friday.
Just make sure everybody's locked in mentally, even myself, because I mean, that's what it's all about. If we all locked in mentally as a team, we all going for the same thing. So I mean, that's the big key.
Well, CJ, you picked up an offer last week, right before the show. We saw UTEP.
Yes, sir.
Put some money in your pocket if you want to be a minor. They said, come on down to El Paso. We talked about that's a really cool stadium and setup. Have you got a chance to visit down there yet, or have you just talked to them?
No, sir. I'm supposed to be visiting soon, so like next week actually.
Oh, on the bye week.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we got to get there
That's what I'm
and
saying.
make sure you're getting ready for another game,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Brady, talk a little bit about, in this type of game, it's probably you guys are gonna see probably a little bit more adversity than you've seen over the course of the season, possibly because the stakes are just so high. And how do you guys really just keep yourselves, there's a chance that they try to take you out of the game, or CJ, they try to take you out of the game. How do you guys kind of combat that when maybe it's a slow start, but you got to keep the trust? How do you do those things, Brady?
Well, Coach Ballard always said, I mean, you playing for Tuttle, you're always going to have a target on your back no matter what you do. So you got to go out there and just be you and keep your mouth shut and play the game.
CJ, as a receiver, sometimes the ball's flying your way all night, and sometimes it's slow to get there. How do you kind of keep patience in the offense, within the offense, and just trust that that quarterback's he's gonna get me the ball when it matters? How do you go about your business like that?
I mean, just focusing on myself and everybody around me because, I mean, I'm not the team, you know what I mean? It's everybody on the team is going to take all of us to win. So, I mean, when I can catch the ball, I get about 20 yards and then hand it off to Sonny, and he might take it for 6. So, I mean, just all around, for real.
Well, I really get the vibe that everybody we've talked to all year, they always talk about their teammates, and I love that about this group. You guys always mention somebody else when we talk to you, and that's an exciting thing, Coach B. The growth of this team over the year and how they've grown up together and the challenge. CJ, you moved here in the summertime in the middle of the hot summer down there on the turf, and you had some other guys that moved here, and then we have guys that are stepping into roles that they're maybe not used to, or hey, we're going to depend on you a lot, and we didn't depend on you a lot last year. Talk about how much Coach B, this team has really molded together as the seasons went on.
It's been really fun to see, honestly. Every team is different. Every year is different. We were excited because we had a big senior class coming back, and then you add a few new pieces to it. And I said it last week, but I've been so proud of the kids that we already had here and how accepting they were of people. And I've been so proud of the people that moved here and wanted to be a part of this because they approached it with the right attitude. If you show up here and work, everybody will accept you, of course. And if you show up here and you just talk, you won't be accepted. I mean, that's just the way it is. And it's a work culture. It's a work driven program, as most are here in Tuttle. But the cool part is watching them learn to cheer for each other. I mean, it's easy to be excited when you've had a good night, but watching them celebrate, when CJ does something good, watching everybody run down to him, or Brady does something good, watching CJ come across the field to celebrate with him, watching Cam get excited when he makes a play. As you know, Cam's pretty close to the best with things,
Yeah.
but just watching the emotion in the kids and the joy they have when they play the game, that's what this is for. The wins and losses are great, but watching them build friendships that they'll take with them forever. These guys will always be teammates no matter what. And I think they've learned to cherish that and embrace each moment with their teammates, celebrate for each other, and know when things aren't perfect and things aren't great that you got somebody to lean on. And I think those are the lessons we're looking for, and you can see them do that on Friday nights. That makes it really, really fun.
Well, it's been a really fun season. Some of my favorite parts of the year, I've been able to call all the games, and I told this year's been great because we've got this beautiful press box. Last year we were out on a table and it started snowing on us last year. And it started snowing on us unexpectedly. Kevin and then Eli and I were out there covered in snowflakes. But it's been awesome being in the booth calling your games. Some of my favorite moments of the season, I think, are watching, and I'm saying it because he's here, but I think it says a lot about his character. And Coach B, you can add to this. Brady McAdoo catching a punt. And then the guy he's the big D1 receiver guy is the heart. It seemed like those plays when Brady's got the ball in his hand on a punt return, CJ is working harder than Brady is with the ball in his hand to get to the end zone and picking up some multiple blocks. I think that says so much about your character as a guy who he could say, well, I should be the one being back there to catch that punt. And granted, he can probably do the same types of things back there too, but I think that speaks a lot about CJ's character, the way he gets after it downfield, blocking on the run game, and then also in the return game for Mac. Brady, how cool is it to have CJ back there working for you like that?
That's pretty cool. I mean, he'll take a block. It don't matter who's in front of him. I mean, running down the field and I'm cutting back or something. I see him come beside me and pick up a block. It's pretty cool.
The big one I think was I can't remember the opponent, but at the goal line you have a big blow up.
Yeah.
Hey, it's one of them. No, they said I got blown up. I did not. I did not get blown up. I'm telling you.
Coach B, if you want to talk a little bit about CJ and his effort off the ball.
Well, he's done nothing but work hard since I've met him, and that shows. And he knows if he's going to go to the next level and play and be a teammate, he can't just be the guy that catches the ball. He's got to block. He's got to hustle. He's got to be aggressive. He's got to be intelligent on the field. And it, I don't, because I mean, no disrespect to anyone else, but the day that I met him, when his family was looking at our school here, you know, his attitude has always been, I want to be part of this. It wasn't, I want to be the superstar. It was, I want to be a part of this. There was much respect given to our guys that were here. And when he came in, his effort has been super. His attitude has been super. And the other kids have accepted him as one of their own.
Sure.
And again, if we're going to be good as a team, we can't worry about me and I. It's just got to be about us. And all of these guys do that, or we wouldn't be sitting here talking tonight.
Yeah.
We would be watching this.
Yeah.
So he's one of many, but I couldn't be more proud of all of them. And it would be easy. It would be easy. We've got enough good players. It would be easy for those guys to get jealous of each other, and they don't. And I've been very proud of that. And I think that starts with them. Their goal is to win. Their goal is to play together. Their goal is to play hard and have fun. And we'll take what happens after that. But they've been loyal to each other in practice, in games, in the locker room. They've been great to each other. And there's some young men that have grown up a bunch this year, and I'm really proud of them.
It's a lot of fun to talk about. It's a lot more fun to talk about winning a championship than it is to talk about how good you are in high school. I'll tell you that right there. We're going to take another time out. We'll be back with our last segment here on the playoff preview show here on Tiger TV.
Country Equipment is your locally owned full-service dealer of Kubota, Polaris, Skag, and Hustler equipment. Whether it's for 2 or 200 acres, Country Equipment has the Kubota tractor and attachments to help you get the job done. Country Equipment carries a full line of trimmers, blowers, chainsaws, and more from top brands like Echo and Steel. Mowers from brands like Kubota, Hustler, and Skag are sure to keep your place looking great all year round. Plus, a full parts and service department for all the brands we carry. Come see us today at your locally owned Country Equipment. Life is complex enough. With decades of experience, Cornerstone Insurance Group makes insurance simple. We can help with coverage for your home, farm, or ranch, coverage for all the drivers, cars, and equipment in and around your house, coverage for your business, large or small, life insurance to give you peace of mind. Call or stop by today, and one of our experienced, licensed agents will shop dozens of insurance companies for you, saving you time and money. Call our office or visit us online at oklahomainsured.com.
How long's it been since you had pizza? I mean good pizza. Piping hot, cheesy pizza that'll make your mouth water. At the Pizza Shop, we make old school pizza at old school prices. The Pizza Shop, 410 East Main, Tuttle. Looking for the perfect way to satisfy your barbecue cravings? Look no further. We welcome everyone to enjoy our mouth-watering barbecue made with love and care. With a kids menu and outdoor patio, we have something for all ages. Come for the barbecue, stay for the good times with family and friends.
As a mama, you're constantly pulled in every direction. HotWorks is where you get to hit pause. Sweat out the stress as you recenter in just 30 minutes. You deserve this.
At Marshall Auto Supply, our Napa certified parts professionals are here to help. We stock a wide variety of parts and accessories for all makes and models. Marshall Auto Supply. Stop by or call us today. Located in Chickasha or on Main Street in Tuttle.
Stay ahead of the curve and keep your small engines running right this off-season. At Simmer Sales and Service, we have you covered. Bring your equipment over for a full winter tune-up or repair. Our full-service shop is ready for you just 2 miles east of Tuttle. We're locally and family-owned. You'll leave saying, Simmer, good people.
Whether you just came from a workout or you're just out and about, our Social Sips have everything you need to feel good to feel good. Here at Social, we have a variety of teas, shakes, social bowls, or you can even try one of our cold brew coffees, made with you in mind. At Mustang Social and Hometown Social, it's always tea time.
All right, we're back here on the playoff preview show, our third and final segment here with Coach Ballard, CJ Simon, Brady McAdoo, and Cam McDoulet. We're going to talk a little bit about the season numbers for the year, and I'll kind of fly through these and let Coach B talk about them. But total yards on the year, 4,043 to the opponent's 2,286. The passing yards has been a big one, 2,500 passing yards on the year, 2,532 to 1,008. The yards per game, 230 to 91 through the air, 64% completion percentage. Pretty efficient there. The passing touchdowns, 35 on the year, giving up 2. The rushing game has really elevated the back half of the season, really more than back of the half, 1,500 yards on the ground. And then, the rush TDs, 26-9. Third down's been good, efficient, 41%, and fourth down's been a little bit better. We haven't had a whole lot of fourth downs we've had to go for, but the turnover call has been big too. But I'll let Coach B kind of talk about those numbers and what they kind of reflect on.
Oh man, that's a mouthful there.
I have to go through all of them.
What I'm going to start with is the turnovers.
Yeah.
I mean, 8, is that right? 8, and our opponents have 22. Is that correct?
We've only turned it over 8 times, and we've caused 22. Yeah.
We did that in one game last
Yeah.
year.
So
I mean, you want to talk about how important those are. Those are all momentum and just huge plays, but valuing every possession, valuing the football, and our defense being hungry for turnovers is a big thing. Third down conversion, I think, is a big one for us. Listen, in today's game of football, you're not going to completely shut people down. Offenses are too good. People are too well schooled in what's going on. I think it's the touchdowns, bend and don't break kind of thing.
Sure.
Try to limit the number of big plays, which I think we've done fairly well at times. We didn't start the year like that, but we've gotten better as the year's gone on. I think our pass defense has a lot to do with the pressure that we've been able to put on the other team up front and with linebackers. When you don't have to cover for 6 seconds, it's pretty fun. But that's due to pressure. Offensively speaking, we've had a good plan, and I think we've been patient on offense and taken what a defense gives us. Sometimes early in the year, we would throw it over people's head, and then the next week you're going to see people line up with safeties over the top of everything, and those nights you have to hand the football off, and our guys have done that. Sean's done a good job. He's fumbled 1 time this year. I just think we've been a good team, and I think every one of those categories is about what you would expect if you looked at our record. But these guys will laugh because I tell them about the stats all the time. Hey, man, the stats are for the losing team. All right. All we cared about was the win, and we got it. That gives everybody else something to talk about.
We don't have anything to talk about.
I know.
I got to talk. I'm a baseball guy. Numbers.
That's true.
We live on numbers.
Get paid for stats.
Yeah, that's right. Moneyball stuff.
No, it's a product of all of them, and being unselfish, playing their roles. Gosh, turnovers though, I can't stress it enough. The momentum in a high school football game is just so up and down, and where you're playing and what's going on, and not turning that sucker over helps. It helps a bunch. So I would start and finish with those, and then I think our completion percentage on offense is very high compared to most. I think we throw and catch the ball extremely well, and that's no secret, right? I should put my Captain Obvious hat on, but
it's fun to talk about still.
I think the great part is we've been balanced when we need to be balanced, and that might not show up on a statistical sheet, but the nights that people have lined up and tried to take the passing game away from us or limit us, what we can do, and the numbers dictate we run the football, we've been able to do that, and that's very important for us.
Well, and I think too, as much as the kids want to and all that stuff, and we've talked about it, Eli and I have talked about it on air, but we've had chances to put up way more numbers than we have out there. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The most impressive thing I think is Avalar and Falwell getting over 100 tackles, and there's a lot of coaches, and I'll say it, you don't have to say it. There's a lot of football coaches that they just hand out tackles like it's Halloween night at the rich neighborhood, and
Yeah.
those guys they get over 100 tackles, and they've played uh, really 3 or 4 full ball games all year long. And then you got CJ with almost 50 catches, you got Cruz with 2,000 yards passing, and McAdoo's 700 touchdowns, and it could be 7-0, 7-10, or whatever it is. But I feel like you do a really good job of handling your business and giving your guys opportunities to go make plays, and then and respecting your opponent as well. And I know it goes a long ways because you don't always have really, really, really good football teams, and sometimes you can on the other end of that, and you always want to be remembered that, hey, we treat people right. So I think that's a hats off to Coach B. And talk a little bit about, that's a tricky philosophy to get into. It's not like basketball where when you take your starters down, because a lot of times but I think you've talked about it last week a little bit. Your younger guys really getting some experience, and they got some more of it Friday night.
Oh yeah. Well, this isn't the final year of football in Tuttle. I mean,
Yeah.
you've always got to be trying to develop people. And I think me trying not to run score up on someone, I'm twofold. Number one, everybody has their chance. I mean, like there's times we're going to get our rear end handed to us, and I hope someone wouldn't do that to us. But uh, secondly, I grew up. My dad was a head coach, and you didn't do that to people. Who was very successful. And listen, man, nobody needs other coaches try to make them look bad. You get plenty of enemies no matter what. So, for me, it's all changed, Coach Draper, because back in the good old days, 27 years ago, when I started this mess, on the weekends, you got in your car and you drove and you met the other coach. You shook his hand, drank a cup of coffee with him, and traded film with him, and you spoke to each other. And that kind of deterred people running scores up and being mean to each other. And nowadays, Lord, I mean, the guys in our district, we're all friends and we talk to each other, but a lot of times you're playing someone you don't know and you've never met before. And if they get a chance to score 100 on you, they'll do it just to make themselves look good. And I just don't think that's the way we want to be seen. We've had a couple of opportunities, but I tell them all the time, they laugh at me, but karma. I mean,
Yeah.
karma's a real deal in this game
You
and in
better believe it.
sports and in life. And you start doing that kind of stuff or not respecting your opponent or the game, it'll bite you. So we talk a lot about that. We've tried to be when that opportunity presented itself to get our next tier kid in, and you can see that as the season goes on.
They've gotten better.
Our second level player has improved, and our freshmen have gotten a ton better. Of course, they get to play against these guys every day, and you have to get better. Or you look stupid, but
That's right.
I just think it's big for our whole program. I just think that's the way you would want to be treated if the shoe was on the other foot, and I think that's important. And if these guys learn something from that, that's great. But that's just the way we've done it. That's the way I grew up, and I just I've been on the other end of those as well, and I appreciated it when somebody was kind to me.
Yep. No doubt about it. We'll start with Cam here. Your growth over 4 years and kind of where you started as a ninth grader walking into the high school to where you're at now. How's that been over that 4 year period? Talk a little bit about your growth.
I think it's been incredible. Like we've had great coaches that come in, like help us out. Like I didn't think I'd ever go play college ball, but Coach Ballard, Coach Finn, and like Coach Lemo, defense coaches, helped me like shape up on defense, and a couple college coaches hit me up, and I think it's been good.
Well, I know older brothers doing that right now, and he probably tells you how fun it is every day, right? So,
Yes, sir.
I call him his older brother about every day too. I called him Noah today. Yeah.
Someone will answer. Brady, your growth over the 4 years, and you've been a guy that got involved a little bit sooner than some other guys, but talk about how you've went from being a guy that can make a play to a guy that is depended on to be doing everything right all the time, and how that's changed for you over the years.
Well, I wish I could go back because my freshman year, I mean, my freshman year, that team reminded me a lot of the team we have right now. But like I was just kind of there. Like I really didn't. I think like I needed to do much because we had a bunch of these guys out there in front of me. But if I could go back and do it right now, I mean, I'd work so much harder. But my growth over the few years, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, I just never thought I'd get this far.
Me either. had some knockdown dragouts for you. It's been really cool to see you really, really take on all the stuff that comes at you. And there's a lot on your plate, and you're asked to do a lot. But you know, you're a kid that works in the field in the summertime, and it shows in the football the way you work here. And CJ, talk a little bit about your ninth grade season at a different school, and you come here. Talk a little bit about your growth over your 4 years as a player and your mental growth as well.
I mean, I played varsity my freshman year, so that was different. And everybody was bigger than me playing 6A. So I mean, I just had to have the mentality that like I'm just gonna go out there and just nobody better than me. So, and I feel like I haven't. I had that mentality is not stop and not get complacent. Because I mean, after my freshman year that summer, I got my first offer. So it's just like there's more to come. I can't get complacent after that, and just like mentally focus on everything outside of football, and just I mean, that's it. I mean,
Well, you come, and I'm not saying you come from a different school, and they weren't 11-0 last year. And talk about how do you handle because it's a lot. I mean, you're coming in and you move in and you don't know really anybody. You know a few guys here and there just from the internet being alive. But talk a little bit about what it's like to be on an 11-0 team and be a guy that is dependent on to go make plays for that team.
man, it's been a blessing. Like I never knew. Like that's crazy to me. Thinking about it. And I sat in a locker room. I don't know what we were like 5-0 or something. I just sat there and was like, dang, like I never been 5-0.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really special, especially with the guys I'm doing it with, and just meeting them, and like they already like I feel like I've been on the team forever. So that's really a big part.
A lot of that's the smile you carry all the time. I have we talked about his little sister's been in our Tiger TV class. She got to do a little interview with you, and she's a sweetheart as well. But go back to Cam here. Your favorite Tuttle football tradition for Cam McDoulet. What's that favorite tradition that you've had?
The buzz and bleach.
You like the buzz and bleach right here? Okay, well that's a good tradition because it means that you're playing past week 10, so you get your hair did right, as I said.
Yeah.
All right, Brady McAdoo, your favorite tradition of Tuttle football?
I got two of them. The first one's the bus ride on the way over here, and the second one is after we win and Coach Ballard comes in the locker room dancing.
That's sad. It's a lot better than that.
You talk to Coach B and he dance moves yet?
Hey, he be on practice. He be.
It's ugly, Coach. It's ugly.
So Coach B. Coach B, if you don't know him, he's not a huge dance guy on the field.
I know.
And CJ's had a couple moments where I think he's maybe seen that Coach B got his back turned. It's on there. CJ, your favorite tradition since you've been in Tuttle, as far as the tradition of the football program goes?
I'd say the bus ride. That's really cool. Like I never did that before. So like doing that.
There's not a lot of people that do it like that, and it's a pretty cool experience. Even when we're sitting inside, I get fired up in there.
Especially last week with the fireworks.
Yeah, we know what's going on.
No.
That has nothing to do with us, by the way.
No.
Those are just a surprise. So I did mention, I said, I gave Coach Brooks credit for the fireworks. He said, I didn't have anything to do with that. So just clearing that up for everybody.
No, we can't have anything to
it's-
do with that.
but the neighborhood was popping off back here. So, and then Cam, back to you. Talk about the player that's been when you were young, the most outside of your brother. You can't say that, but who's been the most influential on the field in the locker room for you as a youngster when you were growing up here?
Like Coach Finn, like growing up here when I
Oh,
was young, or
teammates of yours, older
Oh,
teammates of
teammates?
yours. And I can
Ooh.
come back to you if I need to.
You might have to, because no was the only one.
Brady, you got one in your mind that's kind of helps steer you along?
Yeah, Cannon West. I still remember after our freshman year when we lost in the finals. I still remember the words that he said to me after that.
We don't need to repeat them?
No.
Okay. So shout out to Cannon, a tough running back for the Tigers years ago. Cam, you think of any?
Cody Appson.
Yep.
Yeah, Cody Appson. He's played hard. He was a good ball player, man.
Well, that's not the first time his name's been thrown
Yeah.
on this show in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
CJ, who's been the guy that's kind of pushed you in the locker room? Your teammates. Who are some of those guys that you really leaned on whenever times aren't easy?
I would say Cruz. I mean, Cruz, my receiver group. I feel like everybody. I feel like I can talk to everybody in the locker room. So I feel like just everybody.
Good. All right. Well, Coach B, to wrap this show up, maybe give us your keys to. I need a couple keys to victory for Friday night here in Titletown, as they call it, Tuttle, America. It should be a packed house, and talk about how we go get a win as a unit on Friday night.
Score more points than them.
That's right.
You know, I would say score more than them. I think for us, it's important to just be us. I mean, you get to this point, both teams, for a reason. You are who you are, and you can't get caught up in trying to do something you haven't done all year. You got to be true to what you are, how you do it, and your process every week. And these guys have done a great job of that. You know, I'm going to say turnovers always, but listen. And I've said it 3 times tonight, the game of football is never gonna be perfect. A game is not gonna be perfect. There's gonna be something good, something bad. It's the team that can just stay level-headed, keep fighting. You get knocked down, you gotta march right back down the field and do your thing, and there's always hope if you'll do that. So, we gotta be ourselves, not turn the ball over, and just be down for the fight. I mean, that's really what it is, and these guys will do that. I've been proud of their preparation this week. Yesterday was a good practice. Today was a really good practice. I expect nothing but a good practice tomorrow. It's going to be a gorgeous night. Hopefully, lots of friends and family are in town to come watch the ball game. We have a lot of respect for them and know it's going to take a great effort to beat them.
Well, and I think that effort involves the community. So if you can get out here, we love our viewers on Tiger TV, but we'd rather you watch it later in the evening, hanging out with your friends as a replay. Get to the stadium, make sure it's full. These guys deserve it. They're 11-0 in the year. That stuff started back in May. And they've been preparing and getting ready for this thing, and it's their last chance to play on this beautiful facility. So make sure you turn out and fill the stands for these Tigers, for Coach Ballard and CJ Simon, Brady McAdoo, and Cam McDoulet. But that's going to wrap us up on the playoff preview show this week, and hopefully we're doing this again, not Thanksgiving, not the day before Thanksgiving, but we'll probably touch back as we hope to get a win here Friday night. So any final words, CJ?
How about them Tigers?
That's why I threw it to tell CJ. That's it for the playoff preview show, and we'll see you next time on Tiger TV.